Hello YouTube, this is Braden with Midwest Websites, your solution for business website design and search engine optimization. Looking for a place to build your new website? Swing by our store to check out our variety of WYSIWYGs, cPanels, WordPress environments, and more. Link in the description below. Now, if your website was built using one of the many applications out there like these that are available for designing websites for businesses, blogs, or other functions, odds are you may have gotten an email notification if you hosted them on a GoDaddy cPanel saying that you were approaching or exceeding your resource limits. Take these email notifications with a bit of a grain of salt until you've taken a chance to go in and look at the unique features that GoDaddy offers their cPanel users to check their resource usage and even manage it a little bit. Today's video is going to go over those two buttons in particular that are designed to help you identify whether there's a problem and then assess what you want to do about trying to resolve it. Now, if you get one of those notifications, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your cPanel and go to the home page area of it that has your icons and your resources down the left-hand side. The GoDaddy emails are typically triggered off of one of three sections in your resources: your CPU usage, your memory usage, and your I/O usage. The CPU and memory usage are much the same as you would identify with a computer, since a server is basically a big computer. They basically dictate the processing power and RAM of your server, which in turn dictates how many processes you can run simultaneously and the resources to execute said processes. The I/O usage basically dictates the speed that data is read and written from disk. By its nature, this is going to fluctuate a ton, so it's not really going to be a big deal if you're getting a notification specifically for I/O usage. You can go ahead and disregard that in most cases. If the issue is with your CPU or your memory, on the other hand, though, the first thing you're going to want to do after taking a look at your current resource usage is to assess whether there's a problem and then see how long it's been going on. Now, there's a button in your GoDaddy cPanel that will allow you to check on your server's resource usage as a whole up to the last 30 days, and it's called CPU and concurrent connection usage in your metrics section. Up at the top of the page, you'll have notifications if there have been issues within the last 24 hours. Don't worry about those so much right now. Just skip ahead and click the details link below those. Once you're on the details page, you're going to have access to a few line graphs here. They're basically going to show you, by default, the resource usage over the last 24 hours, but you can toggle that time frame by clicking on the drop-down and choosing which time period you want to look at. Usually it's going to be best to take a look at the last 7 days and the last 30 days if possible. This will show you whether or not your resources are constantly reaching their limits in the CPU and memory area. Your input-output usage a lot of the time is going to fluctuate up and down a lot, so it looks like that you're maxing out a lot of the time, particularly if you're using a content management system like WordPress or Joomla or Drupal. Again, don't worry about input-output usage here. The memory and the CPU usage are the real indicators of things going on. Now, if you're just seeing occasional spikes along the lines of maybe once a day or maybe even a couple times a week, usually that's not going to be a big deal. That means that your website most of the time is running within acceptable parameters, but there's one period maybe where you have a traffic spike or you have a plugin that's demanding a lot of resources for a specific task. Not really a big deal and not really a sign of abuse. If you're seeing that you're maxing your resources multiple times per day, then that's where there's cause for concern. Now, when you went into your cPanel, if you saw that your memory usage was still running high, and you have websites that are built using WordPress or another content management system, the other button you're going to want to take a look at is going to be in your software section called PHP Processes in cPanel. This is going to show you the actual PHP processes that are running for all websites on your server at any given time. It's unfortunately not going to identify which process is which. That's where you're going to want to run a few extra tests using GoDaddy's P3 Performance Profiler plugin, or have your web developer go in and take a closer look at things on their side to identify what the source of the problem is. But this can tell you whether or not there's a flaw in one or more of your websites that are causing your PHP processes not to close. Now, what I mean by that, a PHP process generally should take a fraction of a second in most cases. It opens the process, it does what it's designed to do, and it closes. WordPress sites go through a lot of these all the time, perfectly normal. But if there's a plugin or a theme or a conflict that keeps those processes from closing, they can build and create a long page-long list of these that are going to slowly drive your memory usage up until it maxes out. And don't think increasing the memory is going to fix this problem. All you're doing is giving your plugins more room to draw from server resources. You don't want to throw a band-aid on it, so to speak, by increasing the memory usage. This will not fix a PHP process problem. Now, if you want to see if the processes are the source of your memory usage, if you have a page of these, they probably are, you can go ahead and click the Kill Processes button in the upper right-hand area, and it will clear all of them off the page. Then you can go back to the home page of your cPanel. You might want to refresh it a time or two. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the resources to update in real time when they've been maxed out and stressed. And you'll probably see that your memory usage has gone down considerably. However, if there is a problem with the design of your website somewhere that's causing these PHP processes to build, odds are if you give it a couple minutes and then go back to the PHP Processes area, you're going to see that they're going to start to fill up your page again. If this is the case, and you have a web developer who works on your website, this is the time to tag them in. They're going to need to go in and take a closer look at things. Like I mentioned, you can try and use GoDaddy's P3 Performance Profiler plugin if you want to try and look at it yourself, but if your CPU or memory usage is consistently maxing out or threatening to max out on a consistent basis, you're probably going to have a tough time getting into your WordPress admin dashboard to use their plugin to go in and run the tests yourself. Your web developer can try a few other things. They can try and go in through SSH. They can try and go in and work with your files and database directly to start disabling plugins and doing a bit of trial and error. Now, if you want to try and do the trial and error of testing your plugins and theme to see which one is creating the conflict or problem, you can do that. We've actually created a video that allows you instruction on how to go in and turn off plugins and theme in your database. I'll go ahead and include links to those in the description below for you as well. Beyond that, that concludes the tour of the special GoDaddy features for managing resources in your cPanel. If this video has been of help to you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks as always for watching and for your support. Definitely helps the channel, definitely helps us get this information out to those who need it, and have a great rest of the day.